You know, I really do love this time of year.
Oh, yeah.
Not
so
everyone
special.
loves it. It is the final long weekend of summer. That means getting back to the old routine. School just around the corner. Children, though, may be dealing with some anxiety.
Yeah, some might be excited, but others may have back-to-school jitters. And for tips on how to deal with this transition, we turn to parenting expert Vivian Meraki tonight. Vivian, it's good to have you on the show. Welcome, and thanks so much for joining us. Let's begin with those back-to-school jitters, because that's a very real thing for so many kids.
Absolutely. The back to school jitters is normal and regular. And what can really support them is first understanding what an overload might look like. Sometimes their nervous system gets overloaded. And what that means is they need more support. Sometimes we might look at them when they might be acting out a bit more. They might be feeling irritable, meltdown, shutdowns, even stomach aches, more cleanness. All this is really normal in back to school, especially with younger children and those who have neurodivergent needs or are sensitive empaths. And the thing that I often want to emphasize is these are not bad behaviors, but rather they're signals for us to pay attention to, that their brain and their nervous systems are in survival mode. They're not misbehaviors, but rather what they need is more connection and co-regulation to help them re-regulate back, not correction.
How do we show that connection, I wonder?
Yeah, so a lot of that is actually very simply presence. I talk a lot about presence over perfection or performance, especially in parenting. And so it's about listening to them, paying attention, giving them more time, more space, asking, what's happening for you right now? You know, or sometimes it's just being quiet and sitting with them and having a little bit of that heart-to-heart or a hug closeness and those moments.
I want to ask you about the importance of a routine when we're talking about this time of year, and how do you enforce that routine, Vivian?
Yeah, so I think that sometimes routine, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's absolute, but it does mean reintroducing things back in that we know is going to support them. More time, more space, but also having that rhythm. So looking at, time frames around bedtime. It could be small rituals before going to bed to help them ease into bedtime. And then in the morning, what are those similar rituals in the morning that we can lean on to help support them in getting ready for school? Not just in terms of it's time for homework and all those things, but what are the other rituals that we're bringing in to help to support their nervous system and what they might need in the moment?
So, Vivian, it's kind of dinner time right now on Friday. We're looking ahead to Tuesday when a lot of kids get started. What should we be doing over this long weekend to make those final preparations?
I think that really depends on the family. So some families may find that, and in many cases, I actually suggest parents ask their kids, like, what do you think would support you most? What do you want to spend your last week doing? Because what that does is it gives them agency and choice and empowerment in themselves in terms of what they choose. And then some kids may actually I want to make the most of it, like what are those moments and kind of play till I drop kind of thing. And some other kids may actually want a little bit more rest and quiet. So we follow their lead. And they introduce these things in terms of, those routines, getting their stuff ready, getting all that organized and all of that.
Yeah, every child is different, so that's so important. Parenting expert Vivian Meraki, thanks so much for this conversation. We appreciate it. Have a great long weekend.
You as well. Thanks so much for having me.